Okay, let's get back to the fun stuff. So I work as a fire lookout from mid-May to mid-October at around 18 bucks an hour, and I don't work the rest of the year. So I'm going to explain how I'm able to pull that off. During fire season, I live in the fire lookout free of charge. I do not keep a home base elsewhere, so I'm not paying rent or mortgage at all. Therefore, I'm able to stash most of my summer earnings to live on during the off season. So once fire season is over, I move out of the lookout and get to house sitting. I usually have a sit lined up, but sometimes I'll take some time just to travel a little bit first. House sitting is a really great way to travel on a budget and also to see the world from a local's perspective. You can do this anywhere in the world. I've been able to combine seasonal work with some kind of house sitting or caretaking to avoid housing costs since about 2005. I only had to pay for housing a handful of times since then. However, this technique often requires you to be moving to different spots many times a year, which I personally enjoy. Now, the past two winters have been a little bit different as I had to spend a good portion of the winter caring for my mother, but once she's gone, I'll get back to full-time winter travel. In the way that I house sit now, I'm usually trading my services as a house sitter in exchange for free accommodation in beautiful places. So you are responsible to cover the cost of travel to get there, but it's a great way to experience a different culture from kind of the inside, which is the way I love to travel. So there are ways to be paid to do this also, but at this point, the main website I will tell you about is a straight trade situation, unpaid. You trade home or pet care, often minimal, for accommodation. There are three websites that I use, yet one is by far my favorite. If you want a low-cost option to start taking a peek at house sits, start with mindmyhouse.com. It's only 20 bucks a year. I used them for years and did all kinds of fun sits in several different countries. However, it's my least favorite now. It's just not very well organized, and the quality of sits are a real crapshoot. If you're looking for longer-term sits that are paid, really more along the lines of permanent or semi-permanent caretaking positions, Caretaker's Gazette is your go-to. It's only about 30 bucks a year and totally legit if you are ready to commit to something a little longer term. But my favorite these days by far is Trusted House Sitters, trustedhousesitters.com. It is expensive. It costs about $130 a year, but the sits are high quality and you get to see the feedback that sitters leave as well as the homeowners can see feedback about you. It's not without fault, of course, but it's very streamlined and I highly recommend it if you're ready to start traveling for next to nothing. So those are the very basics, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have them.